Welcome back to my channel Code Dictator. So in this session we are going to learn about YML file and how to deal with the property files and YML file and environment variables. If you're new to my channel, so please subscribe my channel, like and share with your friends and hit the bell icon to get notifications. Welcome back to my channel Code Dictator. In the last session we learned about a Swagger configuration JPA with the MySQL, and if you're not yet covered with this tutorial, so please go and check the tutorials because we are continuing it from that same tutorial again. In the previous session we learned about some property files as well, but if you notice one thing, here is a big major issue, that is for your authentication and authorization purpose. So if you see the database information we stored inside that file, and this is a very security breach. So how to solve this one? This is the most important part. Like, we are exposing our database name, we are exposing our information like user, password and ID. So how to secure this information? This is the most important one. So we can do a lot of things. So the basic stuff I'm going to explain right now. So there is something called YML file, and what is the purpose of YML file, I'll tell you that as well in this tutorial. So if you not yet followed my channel, so please go and subscribe my channel, like and share with your friends and hit the bell icon to get notifications. Okay, so if I want to make secure of this file, so we can use variable here. Instead of directly writing those information, I can use variables. But how to create a variable? So simply we can use dollar symbol and then curly parenthesis, and you can say only like user, or we can say db user, and the similar way dollar db password. Okay, so db user and db password is already set, and I want to change, like I want to secure my database name, so I can say like dollar db name, sorry, table name, yeah, it's db name, and again if you want to secure any other information, yeah, please go ahead and you can do it. So with the help of this we can set those information. So how to set those? Again, simply right click on your application, go to the run as, simply go to the run configuration. Here one window will open, that is basically it will look like this. So simply here if you see like Spring Boot, argument, JRE, class path, source, and after that you are getting this 2 arrow, or if I maximize it, so by default you will get this environment and common. So click on environment. So basically this is the environment variables that we are going to set right now. So simply click on add, and whatever the variable we created here like db user, and set that as root. Okay, again add another one db password, that is also root for my local system. Again your database name db name, and that is tickets. Okay, simply apply, and then you can close it, and just let me remove this. Okay, so now it's done. So if you see right now, no one will knows like what is my database name and password and information, correct? And if you run your application, it will run perfectly fine. So right now my application is started on the port number 9090. Let's go to our Swagger. Here it is, refresh it, and our Swagger is working perfectly fine. Okay, if you hit like get API, it will get all the data for you. Try it and simply execute it. You will get all enter information from your database. But again, the second thing, this is working perfectly fine right now, I don't have any issue. But what if I want to deploy the same application in production environment? So there might be some different environments. So for the development we are using some default credentials, but from production it will be something else, or from testing it will be something else. So just example, for my development I'll just comment it here, hash development. So my development, my database name is tickets. But if my production environment hash production, in my production environment, so my table name will be the something else, so like movie tickets. This is what my table name basically in my database name in my production environment. So if I want to change it dynamically, so definitely I need this property again. I will copy it and I will paste it here right now. But here I am getting an error. That is, if you take it here, duplicate property spring data source URL. Yes, so your application.property file, it never allow you to write a duplicate property. So then how to resolve this issue? This is some major concern. So that time you can go with the YAML file. Why? So YAML file will see that what is the benefit of YAML file over your application property. So first of all, how to create that YAML file? Simply right click on your source resources, new. You can choose your as a file type, simple file, and it is just application.yaml .yml. Simply hit enter. So right now YAML file is created, and what property I want to repeat it? I can repeat those property for n number of time. How? So just take a reference here, like I want to move this property from here. So simply what I will do, I will just cut that property and I will paste those property in the YAML file. But the signature or the syntax of YAML file is little bit different than your property file. If you see in the property file, we are separating out with the help of this dot operator, spring.jpa.hibernate.ddl auto. So instead of that, in the YAML file, how we are writing it? Spring enter colon enter one tab, then data source colon enter one tab, URL colon. So URL is the last one. So simply you can set like URL colon and then whatever the property you want to set. I'll just take this one as it is, X, control X, and it is pasted here. So right now if you see the similarity between these two, so spring is a common, correct? Spring. Data source is also common, but only the part changing is like URL, username and password. So here at the same level I can add multiple properties like username, and that is $db user, again user password, and that will be $db password. Done. This is the YAML file syntax, and if I want to repeat it in the production environment, so simply I need to give 3 hyphens and simply enter, and you can copy the same property for n number of times. So still it will not give you any type of error that this property is duplicate like your application.property file. So I'll just delete this part again. Okay, so now I already provided a security to my file, and again I'm done with the YAML file as well. But the issue is what? When I'm going to choose it dynamically, how it will get to know okay which property I want to load at what time, correct? That we didn't set up it right now. So for that purpose we need to add a special property inside our application.property file, which is spring.profile.active. So which profile is activated right now, that will be choose with the help of your environment variable, and we already knows how to set the environment variable. So $profile, this is my variable name profile, and the same property we are going to write inside my spring. So spring.profiles not activate, because profile is by default is there and it is profile is development. The similar way we are going to add is as a profile production. In the production, my table name I told you movie, database name movie tickets, and in the development that the name of my property is tickets. So I'm not keeping this part here. Simply save it. And right now this is environment variable, so definitely I need to add this property in my environment variable. So simply right click again on your application, go to the run as configuration, in the environment add new environment variable profile, and which is dev. Okay, apply and close. Why dev? Because the profile name is dev in my development time. If I choose as a prod, so it will call these properties. Is that clear? Okay, now save this application, stop it, and again you can run on Spring Boot application. And yes, so our application is up right now on the port number 9090 again. Refresh your page, Swagger page. Yes, our application is live right now. So you can just try it out again, you can execute it, you will get the same output. And right now our file is protected, so no one will know what is the user information over there. That is completely secret. And this is how you can just copy your properties again and again with the help of YAML file.